more than 1.5 years of Taliban rule in Afghanistan, the OIC called on the regime, also known as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, to consider the decision of banning women for working in NGOs. OIC expressed grave concerns over the worsening humanitarian situation in Afghanistan. However, in a rare rebuke, the Taliban told OIC to not interfere in Afghanistan's affairs. Taliban asked the international community to mind its own business. Despite this, the OIC has decided to send a delegation to Afghanistan for talks on the humanitarian situation in the country. But will women's basic rights be reinstated in Afghanistan? To get the ground reports, joining me in this conversation is Mahbouba Seraj. Born in 1948 in Kabul, Mahbouba ji has seen both the faces of Taliban in Afghanistan, which is why she can see through the empty spaces. Mahbouba ji, it's good to be on this platform with you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really very honored. Thanks a lot.
As the Taliban asked the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to mind its own business and not to interfere in Afghanistan's matter, with no outside help, how can we rescue Afghan women?
Well, that's very interesting. What is it all about? When the time actually comes and they have to be doing what they're supposed to do, they don't do it, and they turn around and they say, "Well, don't get involved in our internal affairs." This is ridiculous. This is not their internal affair. This is the lives of 40 million people, close to, and 20 million women, definitely. So what is it? We really have to sit down and start rethinking the whole process. Something is really missing here, because I want to tell you one thing. From this action of the Taliban, the world is not going to be, this is not going to be a one-time thing that happened and then it's just going to go away. This is a lesson, a very negative one, for the rest of it.
August 15, 2021 wreaked havoc in Afghanistan and especially in the lives of Afghan women after the Taliban took over Kabul. Initially, the Taliban assured women's rights, showing the will and desire for a peaceful transfer of power and support for an Afghan Islamic inclusive government. Taliban promised that women can have access to education and to work provided they observe the hijab. But they have stepped back on all their promises.
Everybody can be pressurized to do anything and everything anywhere in this world. I don't believe that there is no such a thing as being able to pressurize. If the question is pressurized, but we can convince people also how to do something, because it is good for their people. They have to have it. So this is what the world is supposed to be doing with Afghanistan.
Women and girls have been stripped of their rights and face a bleak future, deprived of education or the possibility of taking part in public life. However, there is no stopping Afghan women who continue to protest on streets and fight for protection of their rights.
The United Nations is the will of the nations. If the nations will it, it happens. But then why should even nations will it when one country, decided to do what that country did to Afghanistan? So yeah, of course United Nations can do something. But at the same time, is the United Nations going to do something? Really? That's the question.
The Taliban regime has extinguished all potential sources of hope for Afghan women. However, for the first time in the country's history, the otherwise reluctant Afghan women have stood up for their rights and have decided to not leave Afghanistan in an act of unseen and unheard bravery. What is the way forward for Afghanistan as Sharia laws come in?
To tell you the honest truth, the way things are going, is becoming more and more a situation that is getting out of the hands of all of us to be doing something about it. But we are not stopping. We have to go on. We have to continue and pray, I guess, because the rest of the actions, whatever we wanted to do, and we wanted to take action, that didn't work. So I really can't tell you. Just keeping up the struggle, keeping up the work that we are doing, and defending the rights of the Afghan woman till the last breath of each one of us. That's the only way. And the support of the international community, especially the women, my dear. That is so important. That we should have the woman, especially the Muslim woman. If we don't have the Muslim women all over the world, their support, then we are going to lose a lot, because the voice of the women of the world is becoming more and more important. And they have to